Today I am going to show you guys two of my favorite recipes for the winter months that will keep you guys feeling warm inside and without a doubt super cozy and feeling full. They're not only that, but they are packed with so much flavor and it's still super affordable and easy to make. And don't forget healthy, but pretty much anything is healthy if you make it because you know what's going in the food. These two comfort foods are such standard classics you won't be disappointed and will be going for seconds for sure. Shh, I won't tell. The first recipe that I will be making is a classic chili. It is super warm and cozy and perfect for the winter cold weather. It's just a classic comfort food and you will want to go back for seconds. Just look at how delicious that looks. The second recipe that I will be showing you is an Italian classic with a twist. Miso Mushroom Risotto. It is creamy, it is delicious, and I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed with this one. It is the perfect combination between cheesy with a hint of umami flavor from the miso paste. I swear to you guys, you should definitely make this. It is a fan favorite. My family does not like rice, but I swear to you, they ate the entire pan. This recipe is definitely more time consuming, but totally worth it. Like, just look at how creamy and delicious that is. So good. So for this recipe, it made about 10 portions or more depending on how much you guys eat. So I would cut down if you're making it for about 2 to 3 people. But what you're gonna need is a jalapeno, carrots, some celery, some onions, a couple garlic cloves, a spice mixture that I'll put up in the corner. That's about 3 pounds of ground beef, some mushrooms, and your choice of beans, and some corn, crushed tomatoes, and diced tomatoes. So to start off the chili, you are going to want to start chopping your vegetables. So starting off with the carrot, I didn't peel it since I find the skin actually has a lot of flavor in itself, and it's great for the immune system. Who cares about a little dirt, right? No, you guys can peel it if desired. Just make sure you wash it if you don't peel it. But you guys are going to want to dice up all your vegetables roughly the same size so they cook the same, as well as giving your chili a little bit of texture. So for the onions, it's actually quite simple. I just chopped off the ends of both sides and cut them in half and then peeled them. I chopped them roughly the same size as the carrots. So the celery is just as easy as the onions. I just cut the end off and yeah, it's pretty floppy. It's been in the fridge for a while. But I did start to cut it lengthwise and then I was like, those aren't big enough. So then I just decided to cut the rest of the stalk just the way it was, just to give it the same size as the carrots and the onions. So mushrooms again, I just roughly chopped them. I don't really like to have big chunks of mushroom in my chili, so I kind of just cut them as shown and then just kind of like roughly chop them to, I guess not mince, but yeah, just roughly chop. So jalapenos and garlic, simple, easy. You're just going to cut the jalapeno in half, de-seed it because the seeds are the thing that makes it super spicy. And you're just gonna julienne it and then dice it, just like shown on the screen. And you're gonna do that with all the jalapenos. And then you're just going to crush your garlic and mince it, and you're done prepping your vegetables. You're gonna get a medium to large stock pot and you're gonna put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I find olive oil is actually a really good oil to give out flavor other than like avocado oil and canola oil. It's kind of tasteless. But you're gonna add your ground beef and you're gonna cook it until it gets all brown. Don't worry about leaving a little bit of pink. It's gonna cook throughout the chili because you're gonna let it simmer. You're then gonna strain your ground beef and let that sit, and add all your mirepoix, which is the onions, celery, and onions. I really just said onions twice. Oh my goodness, you know what I mean. After you let that saute for about 7 minutes and the onions get kind of translucent, you're gonna add your mushrooms, saute that for another 5 minutes, and then add your jalapenos and your beef. Once that cooks, you're gonna add your garlic and then your spice mixture. The garlic cooks quickly and you don't wanna add that at the start because it will burn. You're gonna then mix it all together, just like so, and add your crushed tomatoes. When you add your crushed tomatoes, I did add a little bit of water to make it a little bit more soupier. You can add broth if you desire, but I didn't have any broth on hand, so I just added about 2 cups of water. Once you let your chili stew for about 20 minutes, you're gonna wanna add your beans. Since the beans are canned and already cooked, you don't really need to cook them anymore. And then I just added my corn. Put the lid on and let it stew for about 4 hours. You don't have to let it stew for 4 hours, but it gives it the max amount of flavor, so you guys can cook your chili however long you guys want. To serve the chili, I just added a dollop of sour cream, some cheddar cheese, and some green onions. Mix that all together and you got chef's kisses. Perfect chili, I think, for the winter season. The thing I love about chili is it's so versatile. You guys can add literally anything you guys have in your pantry or your fridge. It does not matter, and it's full of flavor. And you guys can literally bring this at potlucks or family events, and everyone will absolutely enjoy it. Next on the agenda is Miso Mushroom Risotto. Now, I said in the beginning of this video that this recipe is time consuming and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to make, since it's super tedious and the rice takes a long time to cook. We don't actually boil the rice, we simmer it in broth, so that's what takes a long time. So for this recipe to work out, you're gonna want arborio rice. You can use any short grain rice, but arborio rice is the main focus of risotto. You're gonna want white wine, of course mushrooms, miso paste, some kale, some red onions. You should use shallots, but I didn't have any, so red onion works just as well. You're gonna want Parmesan cheese and some chicken broth. You can also make this vegan and use vegetable broth if so desired. So to cut the onions, you're gonna wanna cut the one end that isn't the stem end off. The stem end is a guide to help you mince these onions to a very small dice. And you just wanna cut little lengths on the onion and then chop it like shown on the screen. It's actually not that hard. You're then gonna wanna chop your mushrooms just like so. It's crucial to make them full size like that, as they do shrink when you cook, and you do want that texture in your rice as well. You're then gonna wanna mince your garlic. And fun fact about garlic, if you guys wanna peel it easier, you just wanna crush it and the skin will literally fall off. So in a pan, you're gonna wanna add 2 tablespoons of butter, just enough to be able to saute your onions. And I sauteed them for about 7 to 10 minutes, just until they're translucent. Once they're translucent, you're gonna wanna add your mushrooms, and you're gonna saute that for another 7 minutes, just until they get a little bit cooked. Once your mushrooms are a bit sauteed and brown, you're gonna add a crap ton of butter and some garlic, but don't saute your garlic for too long because it will burn. Then you're gonna add about 1.5 cups of arborio rice, and you're gonna toast that in the butter to get the nuttiness of the rice out and give it really good flavor. You're then gonna add 1/2 cup of wine to the rice, and you're gonna let that reduce to about half of what you added. I didn't record this, I guess I forgot, but I did add 1 cup of broth in. Altogether, you're probably going to add about 4 cups of liquid to this, and each time you add a cup of liquid, make sure that it has reduced to about half of what you added. Since the rice takes about 40 minutes to make, it'll take away the liquid, and then you're going to want to add more. I think I added 2 cups of chicken stock and 2 cups of water all together. I didn't season anything until the end process because the broth is full of salt. Once the rice is tasted and somewhat cooked, I added the kale and I wilted that down, and then I added my miso paste. I added about 3 tablespoons because I didn't find that it gave that much flavor. And then I added about 2 handfuls of Parmesan cheese when the rice was actually done. The key to good risotto is to make sure that the rice is still al dente. That is the key to a perfect, true Italian risotto. And be patient with it. Like, you gotta let your rice simmer. You can't boil it because then you'll just make the rice mushy and it just won't be as good as it's supposed to be. For the garnish, I just added the rest of the mushrooms and I put some soy sauce and some salt and pepper and cooked it until it was done, and then just added some cilantro on top, and that is the finished product. Doesn't it look so good? I definitely had seconds on this one. Hi guys, I'm sitting here editing this video as we speak. I didn't film an outro, but I really hope you guys make these recipes. It is absolutely delicious. Like I said, I went for seconds. Don't feel ashamed because so did my family. We're not on a diet here. We don't judge. You do you guys. But thank you so much for watching. Click the like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Hey, bye.